all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawah Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles, Great Millstone, for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. It says, this is going to be in Zechariah 2. All right, and it reads, let's start at 2 and 1. It says, I lifted up mine eyes again and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. All right, and what is the measuring line? The measuring line is the truth. All right, it's the scriptures. All right, let's read. Then said I, whither goest thou? And he said unto me, to measure Jerusalem, to see what is the breadth thereof, and what is the length thereof. Meaning, basically, to go and measure the people up to, are they holding up to the scripture, This is the measuring stick. If the measuring stick is the scripture. Let me see something. Let's see. Alright, it says, and behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went to meet him, and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls, for the multitude of men and cattle therein. For I saith, Yahawah, Bahashem Yahushai, will be unto her a wall or fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Right, talking about the future of Israel, because right now we've been spoiled, run down, put in captivity. The nations have had their way with us. But this is talking about a future prophecy when the glory comes back to us, okay? It says in verse 6, Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven, saith Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. The land of the north being this is where we live in North America, which is Babylon. It says, Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Right, and the daughter of Babylon is America. It's not ancient Babylon, right? The land of the north. We just read it. For thus saith Yahawah, Bahashem Yahushai of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. All right, and we've been made slaves here in Babylon, America, also colonialized, the northern kingdom, which that word colonialism, it means you've been made a slave in your own land, okay? So the Europeans, the Edomites, the heathen, they've spoiled us, and they've touched the apple of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai's eye in the process. Verse 9, For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and ye shall know that Yahawah, Bahashem Yahushai of hosts, hath sent me. Right, so we know that there's the Yahawah, he's a power of balance, right? Let's get that real quick. It says, a false balance is abomination to Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, but a just weight is his delight. Okay? So the balance is we went into slavery under you, and now you're going to go into slavery under us. And let me read that again. For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that Yahawah of hosts hath sent me. Right. So who's the servants right now? We're the servants, but they're going to be a spoil unto us. Okay? Let's go to Isaiah 14. I'll read 1 and 2. It says, For Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And this is talking about the strangers of our own people, the strangers of Israel, the Gentiles of Israel. It says, verse 2, And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, so this is us, making the heathen our servants and handmaids. Okay. And it says we're going to take them captives, whose captives they were. So right now, we're their captives. They have power over us. They have dominion over us. But this is just for a time, because we know the prophecy. Let me read it. Let me read 8 again. It says, For thus saith Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. All right? And we've been, these nations have touched us, or basically bothered us, put us in subjection, in captivity, in so many different empires. The heathen have all had a chance to rule over us Israelites. But like I say, in the process, they touched the apple of the Most High's eye. And so it says, For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai the host hath sent me. Right. Let's go to Revelation. I think it's Revelation. Revelation 13 and 10. It says, He that leadeth in a captivity shall go in a captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So, these nations have led us into captivity throughout history. And this is why they're going to go into captivity under us. We're going to rule over them. Remember, we read in Isaiah, they shall be... let's get it again. I don't want to say it wrong. Isaiah 14 and 2, it says, and at the bottom or at the end of the verse, it says, Isaiah 14 and 2, at the end of the verse, it says, And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So we're their captives. We've been their captives throughout history. Right now we're captives, living under subjection to the so-called white man, who is Esau according to the Bible. And you got us, you're ruling over us right now. But that's all subject to change according to the prophecy. We're going to rule over the heathen, like I've read in several verses here. It says, I'm going to read 9, For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and ye shall know that Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts hath sent me. Right, and shake his hand upon them. What does that mean? That means basically he's gonna, let me see, he's going to the Yahawah Bashem Yoshai is going to give us the dominion. And he's gonna, we obviously know he's gonna come to visit the earth. He's gonna send Yahawah Shai and the angels, Michael the archangel. They're gonna have war in heaven, and this is him basically shaking his hand upon them, by force. Let's get Isaiah 47, just so you can understand. It says, let me see. Oh yeah, I'll read one because precepts. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. We just read that in Zechariah. All right, the daughter of Babylon, which is America. It says, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right, in America, you see it right now in the prophecies coming to true. You see America's falling. This place, they used to call it the land of opportunity, the land of the free, the land where these other heathen nations, these people would come to America and look for a better life. And now it's this place is going to shit. You see, this place is going down, down the tubes, circling the drain. CTD, circling the drain, is America. It says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, which is dealing with, witchcraft and sorcery, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Right, this place is getting exposed. Making the leg bare, uncovering the thigh. Take the millstones and grind the meal. And what's the millstone? The millstone is really it deals with working, right? A grinding mill is it's a metaphor likened into working or constantly grinding. And when you go to work, you say, "Oh, I got to get back on the grind." Well, how do we grind? We grind with the internet is being flooded by the videos, and we're uncovering the thigh, we're making bare the leg, meaning we're exposing this place. Yahawah Bashem Yoshai is exposing this place with the spirit of his mouth. Let's get that in 2 Thessalonians 2. It says, I'll start at I'll start at 6. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 6. It says, and now ye know that withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. And who's been revealed in his time? Esau, Edom, the so-called white men, the wicked. They're being revealed in his time. And what does it mean by his time? Meaning his time of dominion, his time of rulership. The Lord's servants, the prophets, are revealing him for what he truly is, which he's the wicked, he's the devil, he's the Satan, according to the scriptures. Satan manifested in the flesh. Verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Until who be taken out of the way? Till Esau, Edom. Remember, these heathen are going to go into subjection, in captivity and slavery under us, the Israelites. It says in verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahawah Bashem Yoshai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? And so who's the wicked is being revealed right now, right? In his time. And the Lord's consuming him with the spirit of his mouth. What is that? The prophets. The prophets are all over the internet, flooding the internet with videos, making the leg bare, uncovering the thigh. All these things are coming to pass because we're in the last time. We're in the last days. This wicked Edomite, it's prophecy that he be revealed. It's prophecy that he be exposed. It's prophecy that he's being made weak, being shown to be weak. He's not as powerful and strong as in the beginning of his. Well, I should say, probably like in the 80s was the peak of his dominion in the 1980s. Here, as far as in Babylon, the daughter of Babylon's time frame. Because, at that time, America was, literally a legitimate superpower on the planet Earth. Okay, here we go. I just Googled it. I said, when was America its strongest overall? And an AI overview says this. The period after World War II, roughly from the mid-40s until the early 1990s, is often considered the time when the United States was at its strongest overall. This era saw the U.S. emerge as the sole superpower after the end of the Cold War in 1991. This strength was built on a combination of factors, including its dominant military, economic power, and cultural influence. You see that? So now we're, this place has been going down the drain ever since basically the 90s, And really, that's symbolic too, because it says here that they were basically the sole superpower of the world at the end of the Cold War in 1991. And that's right around the time our elders started to prophesy on the internet. Well, not on the internet, but I believe our elders of GMS came into the truth around 86, 85, 86. And then it's not a coincidence that once our elders, who are set up as elders right now, they're still doing the work, right? Obviously, 35, 40 years into this, but it's showing you that it's not a coincidence. Let me read this again. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the brightness of his coming is dealing with the chariots, And the Lord's revealing this, the wicked, and consuming him with the spirit of his mouth, which are his prophets. So it's actually, it's no coincidence. You had the elders who are at our elders at the top of Great Millstone, speaking of Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Aramlab, Elder Apostle Rakar, all their, you know, it's not a coincidence that when they came on the scene, America started to go down as far as when it comes to being a sole superpower on the planet Earth. You see? Because why? They've been, now they're really getting consumed because the internet, was manifested. Once the internet was unleashed, basically the Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, gave the Edomites the technology to create the internet, but it's like a sword falling on their own head. You see? So let's go back to Zechariah 2. And verse 11, it says, in verse 10, it says, "Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, I come and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai. And many nations shall be joined to Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai in that day, and shall be my people. And I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts hath sent me unto thee." Right? "And Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai shall inherit Judah his portion in the only land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, O all flesh, before Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation." And what's his holy habitation? It's the heavens. Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to visit the earth. They're going to invade the planet Earth. It's what they're going to call an alien invasion, which, when you get technical, it is an alien invasion because, alien means foreigner. And basically, the chariots, the angels, they're foreign to this place. But it's not going to be little green men. It's going to be the actual angels of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai that are going to come to, bring this place down and set things in order and put the true people of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai in the seat of power. We're going to rule over the heathen nations. Okay? So, with that, I want to give all the praise. I hope this was edifying, this lesson. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge Alakiam, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.